Hi, my name is Gord Cooke. Company name is Construction Instruction. We're an educational firm. We help builders across the country build high-performance, energy-efficient housing. I've been doing that for about 30 years. Interesting enough, I find it interesting, the way I got my start. I was actually a product manufacturer. Used to build something called a heat recovery ventilator, HRV, which of course 30 years ago, nobody knew anything about. And in order to sell those products, I found myself educating builders. Builders would say to me, why do I put one of these in my houses? And I would say, because you build tight houses. And they would say, do I? So I bought a blower door and I started testing houses. And what I found most interesting about the building community is the minute I showed them that there was better ways of building houses, they immediately wanted to do it. So even if they weren't building tight houses, they wanted to build tighter houses, and then they started putting in HRVs. And then immediately they would say to me, what's next? That's what I love about the building industry. Very open, always wanting to do good work. Contractors learning from each other. Very open industry. That is, I would do it with one builder, another builder would say, hey, would you mind if I go over and talk to that other builder? No problem. And I'd find the builders would share with each other their best practices. So over the last 30 years, I've seen this amazing improvement, this what I'll call continual improvement in the performance of houses. Builders always working on what's next. And I would say as an industry, the building industry has really come a long way that way. They are now more proactive than ever before, coming to us, or my partners Mark and Justin and I, and saying, hey guys, what's next? What should I be working on? And one of the key themes that we have for them these days is strategic partnerships. That is, you can't do it alone. So you find yourself strategic partners through the distribution channel. You find good companies like, we do a lot of work with the DuPont Tyveks, the Owens Cornings of the world, the Brown-Newtone ventilation folks. And we bring those through the distribution channel through companies like BMC Stock right now, who's offering building science classes across the country. We partner up those folks to work with builders so that builders are given the chance, the opportunity, or at least empowered to make changes in their houses. And there's some very important opportunities that they're able to gather, and there's some very important risks that they're able to avoid. Right now, from my perspective, one of the biggest drivers in the industry is the expectations of consumers. Consumers are wonderful, homeowners are wonderful, but they've learned through Home and Garden TV, they've learned through reading, they've learned that there's better ways of building houses. And builders who aren't understanding of the building science principles are really kind of left behind. Builders who do understand building science are able to respond to those ever-increasing expectations of homeowners to say to them, by all means, we can build houses that are simultaneously more comfortable, healthy, durable, and more efficient. You don't have to compromise on one thing versus another. So that partnerships that builders are able to form through the distribution channel, through great manufacturers, through trade contractors, and there's building supply yards, allow them to meet the higher expectations of consumers, be more satisfied in the buildings they build, and ultimately meet those expectations of consumers in a very, very cost-effective way. Mark Liberté, Justin Wilson, and myself were part of this company called Construction Instruction. It's been very nice for me. Mark and I have known each other for 30 years. He was the first original HRV distributor in the United States. I was the first, one of the first in Canada. And that personal journey of working with Mark and seeing the best way to educate builders, learning that the builders really just want that good information. And I just expanded my knowledge. I started out as a professional engineer in the ventilation side, but now, and that got me into indoor air quality. Indoor air quality led me to energy efficiency, and now energy efficiency leads me to high performance houses. So it turns out it's all a continuing journey, that everything fits together nicely. In order to build a house with good indoor air quality, you need to build a house that's energy efficient. A great example of that is air tightness. I learned a long time ago, I used to say to builders, you need to put in HRV because you're building tight houses. Turns out that's not the point. The point is indoor air quality is really associated with people's lifestyles and the fact that they don't want to open their windows. And if you don't want to open your windows, then you need a mechanical ventilation system. And once you put in a mechanical ventilation system, there's really no need for holes in your walls. So I like to say to consumers, exactly how many holes would you like in your walls or attics? They say none. And then I say, but when would you like fresh air in your homes? And they say all the time. So you see how things fit together. Better indoor air quality leads to tighter houses, which leads to mechanical ventilation, which leads to higher energy efficiency. That's been the journey that I've found most exciting, that everything fits together as a glove. It really fits my engineering personality of there's a system, we can measure this stuff, there's a real integration, a real process to the way things need to get done. And then the sum total of that is at Construction Instruction. As we travel the country, builders say to us, how can I learn more? And we're able to leave them now. We have a free app called Construction Instruction. Go to the iTunes Store or the Google Play Store. Be able to download the app, see Mark and Justin and myself in action, but more importantly, see the animations that we've put together to try to take out some of the barriers of education. We've animated the construction process, things like how to install a weather barrier correctly, how to do basement insulation better. So we work with our manufacturing partners, this integrated approach, those strategic partnerships I spoke of earlier, to make sure that we've gotten that education process that just makes it easy for builders, to empower them, if you will, to implement these energy efficiency features. That's the most gratifying thing for me, is that it's become much easier for builders to learn and to implement the energy efficient, high performance features that they want to put into their houses.